Consider the ant, how he saves up in the good season for the winter. In Proverbs 6, we hear a lot about storing up forgiveness, not stirring up strife, and how we should also treat those that are hungry, but still hold them accountable, but give them grace when they steal. Oh, this is a heavy word. Now, I have not talked about this. I have talked about this type of stuff in preparedness in past videos, but I don't often do it because usually it provokes fear, and there's a whole lot enough people on the internet talking about preparedness and whatnot. Now, if you're watching this, I know many of you live rural. Many of you, God has already spoken to you. You're doing different things. This is what I see and what I know, and I'm just going to speak to you about it like you're an adult, and you can take in information and weigh it out, one or the other. The situation that we're in right now with the approaching end of SNAP benefits and different things is what has been in my spirit of how everything starts to crumble. Like the straw that breaks the camel's back is the beginning. Now, I do not know if this is the one. We could get to the 31st and they could be like, hey, they've done it before. This is what I do know. The food banks in the larger cities around this area are out of funding. Slowly they will be out of food because of the notification and because of how, things are that they don't really know either. So I'm sure that at this point they're rationing it. The one that I help with, that we use as a church, they don't get funding like that. We pick up things from the damaged cans and different things that people are getting rid of, day old. That means we're able to help, people that fall between the gap of, working and not working. And then we also have a lot of homeless people, a lot of transients people, a lot of people that are just down on their luck. And then at the end of the month, usually we have people that run out of their benefits, that you have used it all up. That being said, we're at very high volumes. Next thing, EBT does not just affect those people that eat from the SNAP benefits. It is a subsidy for farmers, grocery stores. It's a lot of money that goes into those, and grocery stores have very small margins. That's why we got out of the food game after the whole fiasco 5 years ago. So this will deeply affect your pockets too if you are not getting any type of benefits. It will seep in. What will happen is, if things don't go screwy, there will be, a quick sale of all the things that are perishable, but after that, they'll be trying to find an equilibrium, just like they did in 2020, trying to figure out how to, cover margins, how much ordering, and different things. Now, if that comes with a lot of unrest and they need to have run-up security, you'll be paying for that too. So here's what I'm going to say. If you have the ability to get extra, I can tell you for a fact, I am not a financial advisor, but I can tell you for a fact, food is never going to go back down. Soft commodities, once economic turmoil starts, they never go back down. And we can just see that, where rice and beans goes a long way. So, and you can store them for a really long time. It's better to prepare now than later. Anything that you need, I would get. Last thing, in 2020, I thought that was kind of going to be the time that everything happened. And I'm glad it didn't, because it made me realize something much different. I was much more in a frame of mind of me, myself, my family, and God has taken me into a different situation where I've come to realize that you can never have enough isolation, enough bullets, enough food, or whatever. It's community. And the only way you can have community, and I can see from the Great Depression, is to be able to help people, to create hope, to change the atmosphere. If you're able to help people, it will go a lot farther than rejecting people, and you might be able to change the atmosphere. I do not know what tomorrow may hold. I do not worry about tomorrow. I plan for the future, like I've been telling you guys. But take things into account and realize that waiting to the last moment for anything is just not a good idea. If you could exchange a night out on the town for a bag of beans and rice, you could feed yourself for a month. And you can incorporate, other things you have in your pantry to make those extend, spices, whatever. You really need to think about those things. I read Proverbs 6 today and read it in general and look at it. It really spoke to me today. It also spoke to me about how about a year and a half ago, I was talking to some people. I was telling them that they needed to do these things, and God gave me a weird way about doing it, but it would have really worked. And that's just how He works. I do not really know whether this came from. It was very wise information. It wasn't from me. It was rejected, and I was talked about and whatever. And today, last night, God told me to read the scripture of the ant, and talks about that. It talks about making peace with your neighbor first, and then it talks about people that talk about you. I just thought that was very strange that everything was formulated into one chapter that I was feeling in that moment. A little bit of a rant today, but you ain't got to worry. God's got you. Just, if He's got you and He's lifting you up, maybe you are able to lift other people up. That's a big thing to think about. Because building a community is something we could really use right now versus tearing a community down, which I see everybody in charge doing. So if you have that ability to change the atmosphere, you should do this. Sorry it's a little bit long-winded, but I think it's important. God bless you.